Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Marvel Contest of Champions. I'm full of cold still, but I'm still carrying on because a lot is happening still in the game. My god, I can't take a break without something happening. So, as you know, it's been New York Comic Con, and RichTheMan of Legends and Brian of Contest Champion went out to do a little kind of a recce and see what was going on with the booth at Marvel Contest of Champions, and there was fantastic things going on. I strongly suggest get over to Seaton's channel and check out this video. But a lot of things came up from there, a lot of kind of like details on the Reddit post that Seaton posted. He mentioned things like the Doctor Strange event will be something weird and different to match the whole Doctor Strange theme. To quote, "It's going to be a major event of the year. As you know, the Doctor Strange film is coming out very shortly, and that's going to be a fantastic element to the Marvel universe as well as the Marvel Contest of Champions universe. Will we see it in the next month or so? It's hard to tell. Kabam have said they've sorted until 2020, which is, is good that they've got a long-term plan for what they're doing. But I've got my own theories as well with regards to what they're going to do. Now, there were a few key interesting bits of information that kind of slipped through in that video. For example, I got a Twitter post which pointed out this. So if you're not familiar with this character, this is Dr. Voodoo, Jericho Drum, brother Voodoo, Jericho Drum. So that again is extremely exciting because then it leads us on to more that I'm going to talk about within this video, because there's a lot to talk about. The other image that was put up was this for these characters, and there is, yes, right, it's Karl Mordo or Baron Mordo, whatever you want to kind of refer to the character as. And Doctor Strange, a different reskin of Doctor Strange. Now, I will go into a bit more detail about this reskin again in a little bit, but we've got to kind of highlight where these kind of characters come from and what significant information this will kind of provide, or potential rumors. Obviously, this isn't correct, but a lot of things are kind of tying together, which is really interesting. It would create a story. I may be jumping the gun, but it may be creating a really fantastic story. Which I'm quite excited about because I think it's a great idea. So to kind of clarify, this character here, yes, is Karl Mordo, or Baron Mordo, and he is a bit of an odd character because in the film Doctor Strange, they look like they are kind of allies, and in the comic books they spent a lot of time at war with one another. Obviously, they look very similar, both kind of vying for the kind of term of Sorcerer Supreme, but in the film, yeah, they look like they're friends. So whether or not in this event they're going to be friends or enemies, I really don't know. And there may be something else at work. Maybe there's like a kind of a fight, a three-way fight between all three, including Brother Voodoo, Dr. Voodoo, as to who will kind of reign Sorcerer Supreme. So that's really interesting to have this character in the game. Karl Mordo's kind of look, obviously, he had more of a kind of a white kind of Caucasian kind of look. It's really good to see that they're going to be giving him more of a darker skin. That's really good because we need a lot more kind of diversity with the kind of playable characters in the game. So yeah, very positive coming through. Abilities wise, don't expect it to be anything different to Doctor Strange. It will have some kind of elements of the character, magical kind of things, force fields, teleportation. Another thing is quite cool, but obviously a lot of astral projection and kind of mystical powers you're going to see. But yeah, teleportation would be something to be quite cool. We saw that kind of lightly kind of introduced with the character of Loki, so maybe we could see that again. As well as a Nightcrawler, not forgetting Nightcrawler, so that's going to be really cool. Having a new Doctor Strange in the game is a bit of an odd one because it's a reskin, and Kabam have been very good at not implementing reskins. They used to go for a lot of this between, I'd say, a good part of 2015 was introducing a lot of reskins. So it's going to be a bit odd to kind of return to that unless they're going to do something with the character and give him a little bit more, or maybe they probably take away a little bit. and maybe give him a new spin on that. So that could be quite interesting. But the look, obviously, the look here, people will kind of go, well, is there much point to that look? And yeah, it's nice to give a new spin on it. They wouldn't make it too much like the movie there of Doctor Strange, even though it's very kind of subtle. I think that this new kind of look, which is very kind of new Avengers type style, and it's pretty cool. You know, it's not too much. Obviously, it takes away the blue, it adds more kind of blacks and reds, which makes the character look really dynamic. But gives this kind of nice style, which is very kind of new Avengers, and again, is more of a kind of a modern kind of style. Kind of like, to the credit, they do a lot of stuff which is kind of modern, so you know, younger kids getting into the game based on the fact they're reading comic books and see this newer kind of look, and it's more kind of relatable. It's more contemporary, which is nice in any case. I do like that idea with it. So going back to Dr. Voodoo and his kind of place in the game, this is Jericho Drum, a character which is pretty cool and has mystical powers. I like this phrase. I am not the Sorcerer Supreme. You are accustomed to matching. I am Dr. Voodoo, the gunner of God. When I roar, the earth trembles. Dr. Voodoo. Now, this is quite cool because the character has a run-in, or kind of a bit of a tie-in with it being a Sorcerer Supreme, in that he takes up the mantle as Sorcerer Supreme, and takes possession of the Eye of, I need to say, is Eye of Agamotto. Agamotto. I need to kind of say that right. So we just have a quick look at that. But his kind of like powers. So he's got pyrokinesis, smoke manipulation, hypnosis. So hypnosis could be quite cool because you could do, maybe it'd be like stun. I don't know how they would kind of look to implement this character, but it is going to be really cool. I do like this idea that it could have magic immunity. Imagine a character that could be immune to some kind of powers of Scarlet Witch. Maybe more than likely it's going to be like either nullifying effects, or kind of a complete immunity. So things like the Hex Bolt. Will it be blockable? Like a really kind of like I don't know, blockable, kind of 0 damage type thing. Or maybe it takes less damage. Teleportation as well, but I don't know. Flight, probably be like hovering off the floor. It's similar things to like your Doctor Strange and Baron Mordo, but yeah, I'd probably say similar to that in the kind of the levitation side of things. I think obviously a lot of these characters are coming in, they're going to be mystic, so there's going to be like a big push for mystic characters. So with Ghost Rider, obviously Doctor Strange, the new Doctor Strange is going to be mystic. Baron Mordo is going to be mystic. Dr. Voodoo is going to be mystic. So a big push for mystic characters, maybe in the last quarter of the year, which is kind of strange. Except for obviously Phoenix, which is going to be a cosmic, which is kind of interesting in a certain way, but not in others. Well, that's another argument for another day. But anyway, we're talking about the link now, aren't we? The link between what brings them all together: Baron Mordo, Dr. Voodoo, and Doctor Strange, and what they're kind of going to be up to, which is the interesting thing. So here's the article here, or this kind of section. Sorcerer Supreme Agamotto appeared to Jericho through his eye. If you're not familiar with the Eye of Agamotto, it kind of like, you could say it's kind of like, is it physical form or non-physical form? But in the film Doctor Strange, it's kind of used as a kind of a physical form. I suppose if you were going to look at it in any kind of way, like an entity, people may not kind of buy into it. But it's like, in the kind of layman's terms, it's the talisman around the neck, so to speak. Can I just see if the picture here, that could be argued to be the Eye of Agamotto, and that there's the Eye of Agamotto. So that's the kind of argument there. Going back to the story, okay, so Sorcerer Supreme. The Eye left Strange after magically showing him and the new Avengers. The new Avengers, this is the thing. This is the new Avengers look here. This is the new Avengers look. So that's the kind of the tie-in, which is really kind of cool. And if they do it, then this means that there's going to be a Dr. Voodoo event, or maybe they're kind of all fighting towards getting the Eye of Akamoto. You know, you just don't know what the story is, but it's like it is going towards that direction. So, going back to the story, reaching Voodoo because he possessed the eye along with Strange's former garb. Drum became the new Sorcerer Supreme of Earth 616. The possession of the eye indicated that Jericho possesses a pure heart and a clean soul. Drum appeared in New Orleans to intervene in the desperate battle between Dormammu and the Hood against Doctor Strange with the new Avengers. So that's really cool, and that could be a good tie-in event for that. Would that mean that I would probably say, rather than it be they're showing a lot of maybe playable characters, maybe characters on the side of good, but I don't know if they would show Dormammu at all as a kind of a boss, or would it be something completely different, like they're trying to get the eye, maybe they're all fighting for the eye, maybe there's kind of an epic story that's kind of associated with this, it's kind of all tying everything in together. It's really hard to say. Obviously, I'm not going to kind of go, yes, it's going to be A, yes, it's going to be B. But the writing seems to be very much there to have, you know, Doctor Strange, Karl Mordo, and then have a link to, you know, Dr. Voodoo. This all ties in like really well. And if Kabam do it, then, you know, hats off to you. This is a really kind of good idea, and I'm very excited for it. So all I can say is that you know, what is your thoughts? You know, what do you think's coming? What do you think's coming with the Doctor Strange event? Are you excited? Do you think it's going to be a bit lackluster? Let me know in the comments below. We can have a talk about this and these new characters. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Please go over to Seaton's channel and watch the video and give your support to Brian, because obviously this is great. It's a real shame that unfortunately I couldn't get anybody to kind of do anything like go to the event for me, or can I do any kind of bits like this, because I really would have liked to have done something. But it's still fun to kind of research all these things, and the links to the various sites that I've gone to are in the description as well. Like I said, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was informative as well. I've been RichTheMan. Please like, subscribe if you're new, because obviously it's great content and we're going to be discussing especially comic book history. I'm going to try and take loads of paracetamol and drugs, over-the-counter prescription drugs, in order to kind of feel better. And thanks again, and I shall catch you as always on the flip side. Bye bye.
Hello, I'm Sammy the Toys, head of marketing here at the RichTheMan channel. And if you enjoyed that video, then hit that subscribe button and give the boy a like. Now give me some bloody lettuce. Yeah, that's nice. It's like what I want to see. Right. Yum. So good. Yeah, tasty. Yum.